it's Kira and welcome to another vlog. Before we jump into the video, I wanted to let you know that today's video has kindly been sponsored by Skillshare. I'll be talking more about that later on, but for now, a big thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. And jumping back into the vlog, I honestly cannot express to you how happy I am today. I honestly feel so happy, and I have felt happy all week. I generally would describe myself as a positive person, but this week I've just felt such an increase and a boost in positive energy, and I really am just so glad about it, obviously, because who doesn't want to feel happy? But I really feel like it's just come down to the simple fact that this week we finally started seeing warmer weather. And I'm not talking anything wild like, sunbathing weather. I'm talking like, between 8 and 12 degrees Celsius. But honestly, those few degrees and the lack of snow has made all the difference to my mood. And honestly, I'm just so grateful for just slightly warmer weather, being able to go outside without feeling like I might freeze to death, and just being able to go out and appreciate nature again without being painfully cold. And I'm just so grateful, and I really do feel like this last year, if anything, has taught us to appreciate the little things. And so I'm so grateful for what feels like potentially the start of spring. It's currently the 21st of February, so I don't want to get my hopes too high because, we could get another bout of snow. But honestly, the fact that we've been experiencing some warmer weather this week has just made me so unbelievably happy. And that boost of positivity has then made me feel way more productive and just ready to take on the world and be as productive as I can and enjoy everything and basically just have the greatest time, which has been having a good impact on reading, on exercise, and just on life in general. So I'm having a great time. And I wanted to let you know, just so that hopefully some of this positive energy can reach you through the screen and maybe make your day feel a little bit brighter as well. As always, this is a reading vlog, so let's kick it off with what book I'm planning to read during this reading vlog, and that is We Went to the Woods by Kate Dolan Leach. This has been on my shelves for a couple of months now. I picked it up in December initially, and I've been meaning to get around to it, but as is the case with so many books on my shelves, it just keeps getting pushed back. But I'm really in the mood for reading this one because I very recently read another dystopian book called Outlawed, which I absolutely loved. That was in a reading vlog that I put up last week, and I'll link that if you want to go and check it out. But it just put me in the mood for dystopians, and this is a dystopian, I think, about a group of 20-somethings who move to upstate New York from the city to try and sort of build a better life, and they create this utopian homestead, and then I think things start to go wrong, and that just sounds so intriguing. I've also seen this likened to The Immortalists, which isn't a dystopian but is a book that I really like, and all in all I think this is going to be a great time. So I'm going to be starting this book later on today, but right now I'm about to head out for a walk to make the most of the slightly warmer weather that we've been having and just appreciate nature and everything that it brings into our lives. That sounds so hippie, and I have just taught a yoga class, so maybe I'm feeling a little bit woo-woo, but I'm just so grateful for the warmer weather, and it's just made me feel infinitely more positive. So gonna go out, enjoy that lovely weather, and I'll catch up with you with some reading later on.
Oh my child, I know you're hurt and you can't let go. It's not your fault and you don't deserve all the bad and the hurt. I know you tried so hard. I know you've done your part. It's not fair. You did your time. How much longer will you suffer in this life? But don't give up. Just hold on tight. It'll be alright. All your life you've tried to be a good man inside. Did everything that you thought you should. didn't seem.
I don't know what it is about Sundays that makes time just go so quickly, but it's now about 7 p.m. and I have officially started reading We Went to the Woods. I'm 54 pages into this book so far, and what I've read at this point is really, really interesting, and I cannot wait to keep reading. From the very first line, I knew that I'd made a good choice in picking this book up today, because the first line is just everything that I could have wanted, essentially. It literally starts off by saying, I am the wrong one to tell our story. I was the late arrival. And then it also finishes off by saying, I am the only one left. So you immediately know that this homestead situation, which is meant to be super utopian and like commune-y, does not go to plan and things go wrong, but you of course don't know how any of that has happened yet, but I'm very excited to find out. The first 50 or so pages have kind of been introducing us to the character. So the character that is telling the story is our main character, Mac, and she was like a late arrival into this group of friends, and then together this group of 5 friends basically starts up this commune. One of the friends is from quite a rich background and her dad has some land, and they use that land to kind of escape from society and basically start living from the land and all of that kind of stuff. But there's already some, I guess, like tension, not necessarily between the various people in the group, but between the individuals and themselves, and you can tell that they all have some kind of like hidden pasts and issues that they're trying to escape from that potentially might rise up later on. And like I say, it's written in a very intriguing way. There's a lot of foreshadowing, which I love, and I can't wait to read more because it's so interesting. So I'm really, really enjoying this one. But as it is Sunday evening, I currently have about an hour until my favourite time of the week currently, which is 8 p.m. on Sunday evenings when the Great Pottery Throwdown is on. I'm so obsessed with the Pottery Throwdown at the moment. I've mentioned it a couple of times before, but it is so much fun and just makes me want to become a potter because it's just so exciting. So I'm going to make a snack and a cup of tea and watch that very, very soon, and that is the perfect way, in my opinion, to end a weekend.
Do you any good?
Good morning guys, it's now Monday, the start of a new week, and not to sound like I have completely lost the plot and gone totally crazy, but I'm actually starting out today by going for a run. Generally, I would consider myself quite an active person. I'm a yoga teacher, so I do yoga quite often. I like going to the gym when they're open, of course, and I also love walking and just being outside, but running is not my forte. I've never been a good runner at school. I was the type of person who would like try to avoid PE at every possible opportunity, and I just hated it. Jay and I have done a lot of running together. A few years ago, we did some 10k races and stuff, and I did them, but I was not good at them. But for some reason, I think the boost in weather and therefore the boost in my mood made me want to start running this week. And I'm also kind of putting it on TikTok because I've been seeing a lot of runners on TikTok, and there is a hashtag called below average running, which is basically all about just getting out there and running to enjoy it, not to try and like beat times or be the best runner ever. And it's inspired me. So last week I went for 3 runs, Monday, Wednesday and Friday, and I'm hoping to do that again this week. So it's Monday, it's time for a run, and although the weather has been better this week, it's actually currently raining. It's definitely warmer than it has been, and I'm grateful for rain because rain means that it's too warm for snow, which I'm very grateful for, but I'm not sure how fun it's going to be to run in the rain. But I want to get it done, kickstart my week and just feel positive, so let's do it.
I know you've tried so hard. I know you've done your part. It's not fair. You did your time. How much longer?
Okay, that is run number 4 ticked off, and I'm so glad that I did decide to go out in the rain this morning because, as you probably saw from that little clip of me directly after finishing my run, when I run, my face goes so so red. It's like all of the heat in my body just floods to this one area, and I genuinely look like a tomato on legs trying to like run away from a salad or something because I go so red. But the rain was actually really refreshing and helped to cool me down a little bit, and it was actually my best run yet. So obviously I have now done 4 runs since trying to get back into running, and each one is feeling a little bit easier and a little bit more enjoyable. And I definitely think the fact that I am just running purely to run, to maybe get a little bit fitter, to see some increase in speed, and just to get out there and do it rather than running for a particular reason or race or distance, is just making me enjoy it so much more. And then I think the lack of pressure that I'm putting on myself is actually helping me to improve, because I'm not getting too caught up in exactly what I'm doing. I'm just going out there, running, having a good time, or as good of a time as I can have whilst running, and it's working and I'm really enjoying it. So if, like me, you are not a natural runner, it doesn't come easily to you, then just let that be a, bit of motivation, I hope, to just get out there, do it just for fun, and don't put any pressure on yourself. And also, if you have TikTok, check out the hashtag below average running, because there are so many people like me just getting out there and running just for fun with no pressure, and it's really, really enjoyable. But now that I'm back and my face has calmed down a little bit, I'm gonna make a coffee because I really need one, and I think I've earned it. So I'm gonna make a coffee and then get on with the rest of my day, whatever that may entail.
Will you suffer in this life? But don't give up. Just hold on tight. It'll be alright. I know you tried so hard. I know you've done your part. It's not fair. You did your time. How much longer will you suffer in this life? But don't give up. Just hold on tight.
I'm caffeinated, I'm ready for the day, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about the sponsor of today's video, which is Skillshare. Skillshare is an absolutely incredible online learning platform which offers creative people tons of opportunities to learn in a really fun, engaging, and interactive way. Skillshare gives you the opportunity to develop existing skills and try out things that are completely new to you, making learning really fun, really accessible, and super creative. Skillshare offers classes that are designed and brought to you by experts in their field in so many different areas. So whether you're looking for classes in creative writing, filming, video editing, photography, business development, freelancing, graphic design, or really anything else creative, it's so easy to find classes that are exactly what you're looking for and that will help you go on the journey that you're wanting to take your learning on. It's also super easy to tailor your searches, whether you're looking for something really, really specific and into a really particular niche, or whether you're looking for something a bit more broad just to explore a new area of creativity. Whether you're a complete beginner or you're totally advanced, it's really easy to tailor your searches and find the course that is absolutely perfect for you and your learning journey. And one of the best things about Skillshare is, of course, that it is a super affordable learning platform. It makes learning really accessible and really fun, and when you get an annual subscription, your monthly payments come to less than $10 per month, making it really, really accessible and meaning that you can explore your creativity and learning without having to break the bank. But I'm also super happy to say that the first 1,000 people to click the link in my description box down below will actually get a free trial of Skillshare Premium, so you can try all of this out for yourself and explore all of the wonderful courses that Skillshare has to offer. Now, in the spirit of the new productive and positive energy that I have going on at the moment, I actually did a Skillshare course this morning that I wanted to talk to you about because I really enjoy it and would highly recommend it if you go and try out Skillshare, because it was a really, really motivating and just like affirming experience, so I really enjoyed this one. So the course that I did this morning was by Michelle B, and it is called Designing the Life You Want, 4 exercises for clarity and motivation. Now, as I said, I've definitely felt a boost in motivation, but if I'd have found this course in January, I genuinely think it would have changed my perspective so much earlier. I think in January I really allowed myself to wallow in self-pity because of the fact that we went into lockdown 3. I think that's an emotion that a lot of people can probably share in and have had similar experiences with, because I think going into the 3rd lockdown was really demotivating and just, you know, demoralizing. It wasn't the news that we were hoping for, and it just kind of felt like, you know, we were in winter and suddenly again, we have to just think about all the things that we can't do and what we wish we could be doing and where we wish the world would be at right now. And I just allowed myself to focus on the negative. Whereas in February, I started to feel more positive and I just took control of my mindset. It's totally fine to experience all of your emotions and to honor them. But I do think that at a certain point, it's important to take control of those emotions and start to focus on what you can control and start looking forward to the future. We don't necessarily know when things will be normal again, but I think it's really nice to start looking forwards and thinking about what you do want to do when things are good again, but also focusing on your current and present circumstances and making them as good as they can be. So doing this course, which had a few different exercises, including looking at your anti-vision, basically everything that you don't want from your life, and then using that to sort of turn into manifestation and manifesting what you do want, and also just planning out something as simple as your perfect day. It was a really quick and easy course to take, but it was so great for getting that clarity and just focusing on what you can control. So along with my run, that was a really great way to kick off my Monday and just feel super positive going into the new week. And I would highly recommend trying out that course if you too want to feel that boost of motivation and just to get back on track. But yeah, that is all I wanted to talk to you about Skillshare this morning, and just a reminder that you can click that link in the description box if you want to try Skillshare Premium for free. Fell over. Considering that it was so rainy this morning, today has actually turned out to be the most spectacularly beautiful day. I'm honestly just so happy because I went out for an afternoon walk, which was just lovely in general, but made even lovelier by the fact that I didn't wear a coat. I haven't gone outside without a coat on since, I'm pretty sure, like September, except for on the few runs that I've done where I've just worn a hoodie. But generally speaking, I'm always bundled up in like coats, hats, scarves, gloves, you name it, I'm wearing it. But today I was like wearing this jumper and I was like, do you know what? I think this jumper is enough. And it just feels like spring is here and I'm so happy about it, in case I haven't mentioned it already in this vlog. Pretty sure I have, but I'm very happy about the weather. And aside from that lovely afternoon walk, I've been home and just doing some reading of We Went to the Woods, which I'm also loving. I'm currently on page about 100, so I'm around a third of the way into this book, and so far this book still is raising a lot more questions than it is answers, and there's still a lot of mystery and a lot of things to still figure out. The characters are all very mysterious, and the main character is probably the most mysterious of all, which is kind of intriguing because usually I feel like you'd expect to know maybe a bit more about your main character and less about the other characters, but really all 5 of the characters that we have focusing on in this book are very mysterious, and I'm so invested in the characters and their story that I feel like I'm just so so hooked by this narrative, even though I still don't know much. Because I feel like 100 pages in is quite a long way into a 300-page book to still be in the kind of like plot and character building stage. But I feel like Kate Dolan Leach has created characters that are so intriguing that it actually doesn't matter to me that not huge amounts have happened in terms of plot and not much has been revealed, because I'm so invested in the characters and their narrative that I actually don't really care what happens as long as we're following this interesting narrative and gradually finding out more and more about them. And honestly, if I had the choice of an interesting plot versus really interesting characters, I would always choose interesting characters, because I feel like when you have characters that you care about and that you're invested in and that intrigue you, literally anything can happen in the book and you'll still have a good time, and I'm pretty sure that's the case with this book. But one thing that I am loving that just happened in the part that I literally just read was the introduction of a furry friend character. A huge dog has been introduced into this narrative because this big wild dog comes into their little camp one evening and essentially seems to adopt these people. And honestly, first of all, love dogs, so that's a great little addition to the narrative. But I feel like since a situation that happened to me in the last year happened, I've become even more obsessed with the concept and trope of like animals choosing people, because I think it's just so wholesome, and that is what's happened in this book. But the situation that happened to me last year was that a cat in summer 2020 basically turned up in our garden and never left, essentially. So this cat, we've named him Oscar, has essentially adopted us and we feed him. He's mine and Jay's cat now. We did a lot of research to figure out if he was a lost cat. He didn't have a collar, he wasn't chipped that we could figure out, he hadn't been reported as missing by, you know, to any pet shops or local vets or anything like that. So Oscar essentially adopted us and we now love him. He is the best cat ever. But I just think there's something so wholesome about a pet or an animal kind of choosing you rather than the other way around, and I absolutely love it. So I'm happy to see that featured in this narrative as well. And I'm just loving this book. So essentially my evening plans just surround reading this book, probably eating some good food and having a wonderful Monday evening to conclude what has been a wonderful day. The sunrise this morning was out of this world. It was so beautiful. I honestly can't believe it. I was just lying in bed because obviously it was like 6 o'clock in the morning, but Jay was up getting ready for work and he shouted to me, "Get up, you have to see this sunrise immediately." And I was like, "I can see the sky from bed." And he's like, "No, you need to get out of bed and see it from this angle." And I'm so glad that I did, because it was incredible. The sky was so pink and orange and bright, and honestly, it was just beautiful. So I'm very glad that I got out of bed for that. But now back to the real world. It's Tuesday morning. Plan of action for today is essentially filming a video, which I'm just about to do. I'm filming a TBR for the Taylor Swift Kiss the Damn Readathon that's happening in March, which I'm so excited about. I might be doing some baking today because I have some very ripe bananas that need using up, and I'm going to try and challenge myself to find a recipe for ripe bananas that isn't banana bread, because as much as I love banana bread, it does get a bit repetitive making banana bread every single time I want to do some baking. And then mostly the day is going to be spent doing lots and lots of reading.
Hey darling, can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Hey darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in that car, leave a little note and we'll drive real far. Let's get countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your hair. We can look back someday, baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna make it count, honey, come on now and take my hand. Hey darling, I love it when it's me and you on the road with a couple of tunes in a car for two. Hey darling, you know we're gonna have a really good time, driving in the middle of the night when the stars are bright. Pack our bags and get in that car, leave a little note and we'll drive real far. Let's get out, we can leave this city, let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your hair. We can look back someday, baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna make it count, honey, come on now and take my hand. Let's get out.
Today has been such a great day. First of all, those cookies were a roaring success. The ingredients were literally just peanut butter, bananas, maple syrup, some vegan vanilla protein powder, and then oats. And they were so good. They essentially just tasted like banana bread in a cookie format. They had like a really crispy outside and then a like fluffier, softer, chewy inside. So it literally tasted like banana bread, except for in cookie format, and it was so great because they literally took 15 minutes to cook, and honestly I think that they were a tiny bit burnt, some of them, so I probably could have put them in for slightly less time, and yet they just tasted like banana bread, whereas banana bread takes like 40 minutes to an hour to bake, so it's like banana bread but way quicker and easier. I will put the quantities of the ingredients in the description box if you're interested in trying out the recipe, because I definitely recommend it, especially if you need to use up some bananas. And then aside from that, I also just finished up reading We Went to the Woods, and I loved this book. It was so interesting. It was very dark. There was lots of mystery, lots of kind of like, I guess, lack of honesty between the main characters, and it's really interesting because they're kind of like creating this collective homesteady utopian way of living, which is meant to be all about being free and open and honest and sharing the collective good, and yet there is so much hidden secrets between all of these characters, which is obviously very ironic and creates some quite dark mysteries within these characters and their relationships with each other. I don't really know what to say about the plot because it definitely is more character focused than plot focused. It gets quite dramatic towards the end, but for the most part, it's really like steady paced, focusing on these characters and what they're trying to achieve, and the irony of that given the fact that they're all hiding so many secrets and they're sort of using this utopia as an escape from their past rather than actually trying to fulfill or achieve something. It's kind of more of a means to an end of hiding from what they've sort of left behind them. So it's really character focused, and I feel like you get to know the characters really intricately, which I absolutely love. So if you are interested in character studies and if you also like dystopians, I'd say this one is great because it definitely is more of a like insight into like the reality of actually trying to small scale start a utopian way of life. I feel like most dystopians focus on what happens after that when a large scale utopia thing has gone wrong, and they're all often like more post-apocalyptic and stuff, whereas this is just very much set in a contemporary setting, focusing on a much smaller group of characters and the reality of what happens when these characters try to take life into their own hands, but it doesn't really go to plan. So I really liked it. I think this is a 5-star read and it was incredible, so I'm super glad that I finally read this, and I also just love the cover. I think it's so cool. So brilliant day, and I think with finishing the book I will bring this vlog to an end. I hope that you're feeling as positive as I am at the moment, and I hope I've been able to share some of that with you because I'm loving the imminent start of spring, baking, and just trying to make the most of my current situation, whatever it may be. Just another reminder that today's video was sponsored by Skillshare, and you can click the link in the description box down below. For the first 1,000 people who click on it will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium, so check that out if you're interested. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.